Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're taking a look at the next brand new archetype for the TCG. Well, I guess the OCG, we'll get this in a little bit. In Doom of Dimensions, the next core set after Duelist Advance. Very exciting stuff. I don't know for sure. I haven't read this all the way through. I'm assuming this archetype plays in with the Artmesia archetype and Medius. It might not. I don't know, but just assumptions coming in the next core set after that. But we have 10 brand new cards here, so let's just dive into this thing. These are always really interesting because it's like you're not just looking at it from old support. How does this help the old support? This is just a whole new situation. Let's dive in here. Starting off here, we have KENRA Megala. This is a level 3 Wind Fairy effect monster. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card once per turn. You can only use the second effect also once per turn. If you have Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard or your opponent controls no spell or traps, you can special summon this card from your hand. Huh. So this is a back row hating card. That does mean going first, your opponent should have no spells or traps. So this should just be a completely free summon going first. Going second, though, you do need to go after. And kind of weird. Is this going to be an archetype kind of built around Mystical Space Typhoon? That's so cool. I love that. Even if it's like, honestly, best case scenario could be like, can they design this archetype in a way where they make you play one Mystical Space Typhoon, which even for today's standards, like, yes, is it in a vacuum worse than Cosmic? Yes, but I still don't even think it's that bad of a card. All right, cool. Second effect, if a KENRA quick play spell or Mystical Space Typhoon is activated, you can special summon one KENRA monster from your deck with a different name from the monsters you control. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of turn except wins. Interesting. So we gotta wait to see what the other KENRA quick play spells look like. But also it's cool that MST can trigger this as well. Very interesting. Okay, not a crazy card, but not a bad card either. I'm not complaining either way. Cool. All right, next up here we move to KENRA Airdim. This is a level 3 wind beast, so they're not all fairies, but they are winds. You can only special summon this card with the first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. If you have a Mystical Space Typhoon in your graveyard or opponent controls no spell or trap, special summon this from the hand. Cool. Same effect. Going first should summon super easily. Going second, you got to make sure you clear your opponent's stuff or go through MST at least. Second effect, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a KENRA monster or Mystical Space Typhoon from your deck to your hand. I mean, that's just pretty good. That means even just this by itself is summon itself, add Megala, summon Megala. It's 2 bodies, 2 level 3s. Cool. They're level 3 wins, so you can make is it Totem Bird, the rank 3 of the wind that is just a spell and trap negate. It's a good end board piece. It's pretty good. Cool. Yeah, nice. I would say this one's actually better than the first one, especially if the other monsters are really good. Next up, we have KENRA Suen. This is a level 3 wind beast warrior. So this is a tankiable monster, which is cool. You can only special summon this card with the first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. Same first effect, Mystical Space Typhoon engrave, or your opponent has no spell or traps, summon this from hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a KENRA spell or trap or MST from your deck to your hand. I love all the access to MST. That's cool. This is another good one. Going to depend on how good the spell and traps are, but still seems pretty dang good to me there. So, yeah, could be better than the first one. We don't even know there. Okay, cool. Let's close that out. Let's scroll up here. Next phase of monsters. Looks like higher level monsters is interesting. So we have 3 level 3s and then some higher levels. This is KENRA Krothia. There's a level 3 wind wing beast. You can only use the first and second. Oh, beast warrior and wing beast. I just realized, like, is Tri Brigade on the table here? Maybe. I think what was it? The first one that locked us into wins, but outside of that, maybe. Okay, first and second effect of this card once per turn. If a quick play spell card is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. Ooh, just any quick play spell. That's kind of cool. Okay, yep. I like that. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a KENRA card and or MST from deck and or graveyard to hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except wins. Okay, so another one that locks you into wins, but this one is a search anything, basically, in the deck, which is nice. You've got 3 searchers already, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while your opponent controls no spell or traps. Pretty interesting. that protection's like the icing on the cake effect. The main things are extension and of course the search, obviously. So still another good card though. I'm not complaining about this whatsoever. Still doing good there. Next up here we move to Kenran Kare Valrune. It's a level 9 Wind Aqua. A little bit different here. Wind Aqua. 3 hard ones return effects. If a quick play spell is activated, special this from hand. Cool. When your opponent activates a monster. Oh, do these have to be in hand? I guess we'll see when the quick play spells come through, but we'll see if there's any conflictions there. But yeah, anyway. When your opponent activates a monster effect and you have MST in your grave, negate that effect. Then if you have 2 or more MSTs in grave, you can destroy that monster. I don't know if we're going to be playing more than one MST. Considering almost every effect we've read so far only needs a MST and MST in the graveyard, I don't know if we're going to play 2. Maybe you could play more in the side or something when you know you're playing against a matchup where it's actually decent in. But aside from that, it feels like a one of so far. So I don't know. And that bonus is not that much of a bonus. Monster Gate's already good enough. Making a monster gate that destroys is better, but like how much better? Is it worth playing an additional card that maybe you don't want to ideally? Maybe not. And then lastly, if MST is activated while this card's in your grave, special summon it. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like this card. This is a nice little boss monster. Monster negate, has a way to come out of the hand, has a way to come back from grave. It's cool. I like this card. It's pretty good. And our last monster, no extra deck monsters so far for this archetype. They're all different levels. So Exceeds are kind of out. No tuners, so Synchro is out in the future. Link could be something down the line. Fusion potentially as well. Those are kind of the 2 that are still on the table in any way, shape, or form, it feels like. Anyway, Kenran, oh, by the way, coolest artwork so far to me. Coolest artwork by far. Hopefully he's a really cool boss monster. Kenran Goka Phoenix. You can only use the first, second, and third effect once per turn. If a quick play is activated, special this from the hand. Classic. If a quick play spell is activated, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, shuffle them into the deck. Whoo! There we go. It does trigger a new chain link, so you know it is what it is. It could have some timing issues at times, but shuffle 2 is strong, man. And especially with decks nowadays that have like modern day power creep, like so many decks can still get access to their banish even when their good cards are banished. Shuffling back into the deck may be one of the best forms of removal, honestly, aside from like face down banish. And the last effect, if MST is activated while this card's engraved, special summon it. Wow, that's so cool. Imagine getting this and the other one engraved. Like you could summon them both, link them off if you want, and then just like set an MST and like MST something on your opponent's turn just to get both back immediately, and then just get it all. That's really cool. Cool. I like these. These are cool. They don't feel too broken, but they feel solid. Like honestly. So that's cool. Very cool. All right. These quick plays are going to determine a ton. So let's see. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of these effects once per turn. So this card is not once per turn because it has multiple effects here. You just have to pick one. Okay. This is Kenran Taru Ken A. This is a quick play. Add 1 level 4 lower Kenran from your deck to your hand, or add a Mystical Space Typhoon from your deck. Does that say deck? This I can't see it. I can't see it. Yeah, it is deck. Okay. Deck or graveyard to your hand. Okay, so cool. This is good. I mean, it's a little bit of a slight bummer that it only adds the small Kenrans, but still, I'm not complaining. And just extra access to MST. That just works so well with this deck. If this card is destroyed by the effect of MST, you can set this card. What are we doing with that? What are we doing? It's a quick play, though, which makes it so awkward, right? I mean, I guess you have so many cards that trigger when MST is activated, so sometimes popping your own stuff and then just not losing this, being able to reset it immediately is fine. The problem is that it's a quick play. So it's like in hands where you might want to be like, ooh, I have the big guys already engraved, so I'm going to set this. I'm going to pop it with MST. But because it sets, it doesn't like add back to hand. You can't activate this that same turn. You then have to like pass and activate this on your opponent's turn, which isn't the end of the world. But still not super ideal, but still a good card regardless. It's a quick play Rhoda. You know what I mean? Like we're not complaining about quick play Rhoda ever. Next up here, next quick play spell. Kenrentaru Kengen. This is a quick play spell as well. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each. So this is a little bit of power creep here as well. We're seeing just non-ones per turns, but they have two different effects. The first one is send one Kenran monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, send the big ones immediately. And then if you can just activate an MST, then they're coming back. That's cool. Yeah, and then second effect is add MST, and then the same second effect as the last one, where if it's destroyed by MST, it's going to reset itself. Not mad about it at all. This is a fine one. I don't think it's a one card combo. I don't think we saw anything that was. Yeah, I don't think we saw anything that was just being sent to grave as one card line, but still a consistency card, still a good utility card. Maybe down the line they'll make a line where just foolishing any of the main deck monsters is just one card play from there, but we'll see. One more quick play spell, I believe, and then a trap is what finishes us off. This quick play spell is Kenrentaru Kenshin. You can only activate one of its two effects once per turn. The first effect reads, draw two cards, then discard a Kenran card or quick play spell. Or if you do not have any in your hand, discard your entire hand. Or add a Mystical Space Typhoon from deck or graveyard to hand. And then if this card's destroyed by MST, reset it. Whoo! Okay, so now we're looking at in Archetype Allure of Darkness that's a quick play and has other utility. That seems kind of crazy. That seems kind of wild. And it's discard too. Allure in so many cases hasn't even been played in banished decks in every case. Obviously, in some cases it has Thunder Dragons and Malice, of course, but we've even seen it just played in dark decks as just a good consistency card. So this card is that, except you're also getting to discard a Kenran card, which they all kind of don't mind, I think, in most of these cases. So yeah, pretty cool. That's another card to add to the toolbox. That's pretty nice for them. All right, and our last card here is Kenrentaru Kenno. Continuous trap card. Once per turn, you can target 3 quick play spells in your grave, including a Kenran card. Apply these effects in sequence. Shuffle them into the deck, then draw one card. When monsters you control will gain 300 attack and defense for the rest of this turn. Second effect, once per chain, when MST is activated, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects. Okay, so this card becomes a negate anything on the field. It just can only activate in the same, like in immediate response to MST. Okay, that's not a bad interruption, but I don't like that it is like, incumbent on you having access to MST, firing it on something else. Okay, but it's still like not a bad effect. And then lastly, if this card's destroyed by the effect of MST, reset it. Cool. Yeah, I think this one's maybe my least favorite card so far. I think everything else, like, I totally get, and I thought felt pretty worth it in most cases. This is maybe the one I read where I'm like, I could go without it. I like, you know what I mean? It's not blowing me away. But it's a trap. Every new archetype these days, of course, mandatorily gets a trap. So they were gonna get it. But pretty cool. Nonetheless. So very cool new archetype. I don't want to underestimate this one because, to be completely honest with you guys, I underestimated Artmegia, and Artmegia has already gotten some pretty solid results. It's not like top tier in the OCG, but I thought it was like a good support wave away, and it's already been getting some solid, rogue results. So, yeah, I don't want to underestimate this one either. I mean, maybe there's a world. I will say there are some parallels with this archetype that kind of give me slight like Fire King vibes, not just in some of the artwork that's going on. It's like a Wind Fire King, vibe deck, but like, I don't know, the fact that it doesn't go into the extra deck, so is Extrav on the table, right? Because you're Wind only, does that mean we can work with, is it Purge? Purge's Fire, Water, Dark. Yeah, so I think you can play Dominus Purge, like maybe some stuff like that. Take advantage of some cards that other decks can't play, like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to underestimate it. I already underestimated Art Magia last time. It's impressed me since then. I think there's definitely some potential here. Now, I would still like to see some other stuff. I'm not fully seeing all the lines, and maybe people will fill me in the comments, be like, "No, dummy. There's some pretty clear lines that just play straight on through, and you're gonna get some pretty good output from it." But still a cool start nonetheless. I am interested. I like the artwork. I like a lot of what's going on here. I just now I just need to wait and see if you know, if it's got the chops. So there you go. Very cool new archetype, the Kenra archetype. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Where do you land on them? How good are they? What do you think they need? If you think they need anything to kind of be able to you know, handle the current format. And yeah, your general thoughts. I'd love to hear that. But I'm out here for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, stay tuned for more. This is the first thing I'm actually pretty excited for from Doom of Dimensions, and I'm hyped. I'm hyped. So I'm out of here. Stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh news, anything that's dropping. I'm making videos on and other Yu-Gi-Oh content as well. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see anything like that in the future. But I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace.